Welcome back to ABP. You know what I'm saying? First pod of the new year. Happy New Year to everyone watching. You feel me?
Yes, sir. Of course.
Thank you guys for getting us to 500 subscribers before the end of the year. That was our goal. We got there. Thank you for that. We got a new goal. What's our new goal?
Our new goal
Yeah.
for the end of this year?
Nah. By the end of the season, what are we trying to hit?
End of the season, we're trying to hit 1,500.
1,500?
Yes.
All right, you heard him.
1,000 subscribers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's more realistic. 1,000 subscribers before the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? That's like late May. We can do it. Hit the sub button if you're not already subscribed.
Tell your friends, share.
Facts.
You know, tag us in your Instagram. We will repost you.
Literally, bro. Anything. But you know what I'm saying? We're going to get right into it.
Of course.
We're doing January signings. The January transfer window is officially open.
Yep.
And we're going to be going through the Premier League top 10 teams.
As of right now. Put it up on the screen.
Yes,
top
sir.
10 right now.
And we're going to give you our recommended January signings for these clubs.
Yes, sir.
Let's get right into it.
Okay.
I'm going to start. Let's go down from 10.
All right. Chelsea.
I'm going to go
Chelsea.
All right, they're sitting 10th. For Chelsea, I got Ousmane Diomande.
Oh, I was about to say Ousmane Dembele.
Nah. Ousmane Diomande.
Okay.
Center back for Sporting Lisbon. Having a breakout year, all right? I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been watching Sporting like hella this season. No,
Right.
I haven't. But I'm hearing, word to mouth. He's having a breakout season. He's been linked with multiple big clubs. 55 million is apparently what Sporting are asking for. And it just makes sense.
Where does he play?
He's a center back.
Center-back?
Yeah, he's a center
Okay.
back. My bad. He's a center back. And it just makes sense. Look, Badiashile, left-footed center back. He's playing well. Thiago Silva washed. Disasi, not good enough. Fofana, injury prone. You know what I'm saying? Chalobah is linked to leave. So it just makes sense. And we all know Boli is not going to hesitate to drop more bags on whoever he wants.
Okay.
So Ousmane Diomande, yeah, you know what I'm saying? He looks class, right-footed center back as well. Chelsea is also linked with Todibo, but I think he's more interested in
There's a lot of teams linked to this guy.
Yeah, and it looks like he's more interested in Spurs, and I don't think Nice are going to sell him
Yeah.
anyway. So,
Absolutely not.
so Ousmane Diomande, I think that would be a class signing for Chelsea in January.
Yeah, I mean, January transfer window is a bit techie because there's a lot of great players that people want to sign, but
Right.
clubs
But the
are
clubs don't wanna
reluctant.
sell them.
They're reluctant to let them leave. But okay, I mean, granted, I never heard of that. Don, sure, Chelsea, maybe Bully's
Chelsea
ambitious.
fans, let us know if you want that player.
Sure, Newcastle. I've got Newcastle. I could have gone a multitude of ways. There's a lot of players.
That's true.
Eddie Howe has worked these guys to the ground. They've got zero legs. They are literally like legless at this point. But
Like a snake, bro.
yeah, I don't know. But I think this is pretty realistic. I went for Calvin Phillips.
Mm-hmm.
I think Man
I like
City.
that pick.
I think Man City are definitely gonna ship him off. He wants to leave.
He needs to go.
He's got to go, blood.
He's got to go.
Newcastle desperately needs someone in the midfield. They lost Tonali on the betting scandal. Shout out Tonali. Shout out all them betters.
Shout out to Nali.
I think that's the perfect fit.
makes
It's like
sense.
kind of a team that is struggling a lot. He's going to be an instant impact if he chooses to be an instant impact. It's not like he's going to be on the bench a lot. He'll be starting right away. I think personally, good way to revive his career. Another player I did kind of honorable mention was Berardi.
Nah, that's not realistic. Bro.
Someone who they need as a right winger. He's kind of he would come from like a mid-table Serie A team, but again, like I said, Sassuolo is probably going to be really reluctant to sell him just because he's having a really good season right now. But yeah, Calvin Phillips for sure.
Makes sense. All right, moving on. Brighton. You know what I'm saying? Brighton. I went with Samuel Illing Jr. from Juventus. 18 million. And it kind of fits Brighton's transfer strategy. You know, he's cheap. He's young. You know, Brighton like to go for those young, cheap players that obscure. Not many people know about them. Obviously, Illing Jr. is a bit more popular playing for Juve, but it kind of fit. It makes sense. He only has 8 appearances this season for Juve. I'm sure he wants to get more minutes, and he's English, so he probably wants to play in the Prem. You know what I'm saying? Most Englishmen do. And with Mitoma out, Ansu Fati injured, Adingra is injured at the moment, and Ciso got injured at the beginning of the season. They need
Wait,
players.
where does he play?
He's a left winger.
Left winger.
He's mostly
See,
left winger.
I probably would have thought they would have gone for like more of like a defensive player.
I mean, that's the thing with Brighton. They could really use a player in most positions, and I'm only picking one. But like a left winger makes sense with all the injuries they have at the moment. I think that would make sense for them.
All right. I mean, I don't really know much about bro.
You've never seen him play?
I've seen him play, but
Okay.
Yeah,
I feel it.
future is bright for the kid. Who do we have next? I don't really know. United?
I think it's United. Yeah.
So Manchester United, this is a bit interesting because they desperately need a coach. If anything, honestly.
You're gonna pick a manager.
I'm not picking a manager here, but I picked two players, all right?
Chill, bro. We're doing one.
I know, but United, one is kind of like not realistic, but they should go for this dude.
They need open heart surgery. Ragnick said it himself.
Yeah, they should go for this dude, but they probably won't.
Okay.
Paulo Dybala, he's got a release clause that is activated in January for 13 million for only outside the Serie A clubs. He was already linked to Manchester United before.
So many times, you know. He's like one of those players.
Yeah, exactly. Only 13 mil. A lot of upside for him to come to that team.
Is it? I don't know, bro. If Dybala wants to ruin his career and have it go to a downhill trajectory, United's the place.
They're a massive club. They got massive supporters. They got a lot of financial, success throughout the years in terms of the market. If he is able to turn that ship around, they will build a statue for that dude. That's why a lot of players want to go to that club, because they think of the project. They think, okay, I'm the one that can fix him. They can fix the thought. That's
probably what Varane thought. That's probably what Casemiro thought. Look how it turned out.
But
that's probably what Ronaldo thought.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm not saying that's a good decision. I'm saying it's still an appealing project for him. Opposite, Manchester United, they get a really, really good player in Paulo Dybala, someone who's got that spark that maybe that could jumpstart their attack, but who knows? That's who I went for. Another name I did say is, just because it's heritage for an Everton player to go into Manchester United, is Braithwaite, the center back.
Yeah.
The Ute, as they say.
Jared Braithwaite. He's a good player.
What a beast. He's got a lot of upside potential. Following the footsteps of Wayne Rooney, kind of moving across to Manchester United, buying into the future.
Yeah.
Potential.
They do need a right-footed center back. That is very true. That makes more sense than the Dybala one, in my opinion.
I agree. But I don't know if would Everton sell him?
Probably not.
No.
I don't think they would.
It would go for a lot of money.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, that's who I think United should get.
Okay. West Ham is next. West Ham's one of those teams where they really could use a player almost anywhere. They need a striker, they need a winger, they need fullbacks, they need center backs, like literally. And that just shows you how good of a season David Moyes is having. Fair play. He's really shut me up. I'm gonna be honest. He's shut me up. So fair play to him. But I went with Ian Maatsen from Chelsea, 35 million.
They just got him though.
I don't.
From
Did they
Burnley.
just get him?
Yeah.
I think he would be a good option because he's not getting the minutes at Chelsea. He'd only be 35 mil. West Ham need depth at fullback and left winger, with Benrahma rumored to leave in January. So he can play left back and he can play winger. So Soufal's unhappy as well. Cresswell, Ben Johnson not really getting in the team. All of it makes sense for Ian Maatsen to go to West Ham. I think it would be a great move for him. He'd get minutes for sure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And Chelsea, we all know Chelsea got to balance the books. So they're going to buy players, but they need to sell players too. They can't have a 40, 50-man squad.
Fairs. Yeah, shout out West Ham, honestly. Great season.
They're having a good
Pretty
season.
exciting football, if I'm honest. It
they're
seems
a
like
good
they
team to
changed a
watch.
little bit.
They're a good team to watch.
Changed a little bit. All I'm saying, as soon as they got that brother out from striker.
Antonio?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Guy was
as soon as he's gone.
He was a pest, and they do need a striker, though.
Started heating it up.
Yeah.
Sure. Spurs.
Okay.
I'll go Spurs. A lot of interesting players that I think that Spurs could actually go for. One is Jota from Al Ittihad. Of course, we know he's got left out of the squad. He was already underage at in the Scottish League. Mm-hmm. He already knows the coaching style, and they need an attacking player coming off the bench or even as a starter when players are injured like right now. I think he's a perfect player, and he's young. A lot of upside to this guy.
How old is he?
I think he's like 22, 23.
He looks 35.
What?
He does.
Because of the stash?
Yeah.
Nah, he's lit. And he's got a banger of a song to chant. Like, all upsides for the Spurs fans. I did say, I think that there's been news of this guy named Dragusin, the center back from Genoa, who's like very concrete. Like Fabrizio Romano's already tweeting like it's super close that Spurs is going to get him. This kid is apparently like, he doesn't want money. He just wants success, and he just wants to like create a legacy for himself. So someone like that partnering with Romero as Van de Ven is injured, I think Ange is going to love that. So yeah, that's me. And on top of that, we know you said Todd Bowley wants to, get rid of a lot of the players. Gallagher.
Dang, boy, we said one player. Blood.
Yeah, but Gallagher is one of those names that a lot of Chelsea fans don't want to see him go anymore. But Bowley wants him gone. So Spurs come knocking. That'd be funny. Taking Poch's captain. That'd be funny.
That would be interesting. Fair play. Okay. Arsenal. We're getting to the top of the table now. Arsenal's pretty clear. We all know they're calling out for a striker. They need a 9. They signed Gabriel Jesus, last year or whatever, year and a half ago now, and I don't really. He said he was a 9 in the interviews. I'm a 9. I can score goals, whatever. But we all know that wasn't true. Like if you watched him at City, he never was a 9. Pep knew he was never a 9. Yeah. His best performance for City was at left back. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a vile.
It was true though. It's true. And they need a 9. And for me, I went Ivan Toney, 100 million. Look, 100 million. We all know Ivan Toney is going to cost a massive bag. But it's a no-brainer though. For me, he's prem proven already. Osimhen, not realistic. Lautaro, not realistic in my opinion. Vlahovic, not convincing enough for me. I do rate him, but I don't think that's the type of player Arsenal should be going for. And with Tony now, just his suspension's almost going to be over pretty soon,
and he's already twerking for them. He's been twerking for them.
He was already on Twitter or whatever, Snapchat. Thought he's Snapchat saying fuck Brentford, like I want to leave, stuff like that. So he's been wanting a move for a long time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I think Ivan Toney would want it. Brentford would obviously need the money, and Arsenal need a 9. So I think that makes perfect sense.
Fairs. Yeah, I think that's a match made. For sure. Next, we got Manchester City. Now, let's
see what you say.
This is interesting because I'm thinking very realistic here. Do they need the players that they're linked in terms of who they're linked with? Inverted fullbacks, wing backs, youth prospects. Yeah, maybe down the line, but like that's not very interesting to me. You know?
Uh-huh.
I don't really see anyone very realistic being signed to Manchester City in order for them to make that leap. I think that, they've got Haaland coming back. They've got KDB coming back, of course. I think Pep, there's something about Pep being bald. He wants to prove the haters wrong and wants to keep this team.
Yeah.
And he wants to go on and try to win the Prem with this team with no January signings to say that he can do it. And it's a challenge for him. So I didn't put any signings for Manchester City. Just for that reason.
Okay. I mean, look, I won't hate that because let's be real. You look at the history books, City almost never make signings in January. So yeah, I mean, I hear it. Kind of boring on your part to do that.
Because it's realistic.
Last year when we did this video, I picked Gvardiol, but obviously he then signed in the summer.
Okay, so you were wrong in it.
Okay, I was wrong, but I wasn't really wrong though. It was just
there was miles off it.
All right. Anyway, all right. That's pretty boring, but we'll move on to Aston Villa.
Yep. A lot of great potential here.
Yeah. And I went with Crescencio Somerville from Leeds United. Okay, Leeds United player. We all saw him in the Prem when they were in the Prem. Look, he would go for 50 million, which is pricey. But we've seen already Villa are not afraid to spend in the transfer in the transfer window. They're not afraid. He has 18 goals and assists this season in 24 games. In the championship, but
it's champ ball,
Okay, but it's still, bro. That doesn't 18 goals and assists in 24 games is impressive. Villa need a winger. They need winger depth. They only really have Bailey and Diaby.
And Zaniolo.
And Zaniolo's on loan. He hasn't really been getting the minutes.
They're going to sign Zaniolo, bro.
Nah, he's probably going to leave because he's not been getting the minutes. I don't see why he would stay. And Douglas Luiz also being linked with many moves away, which would inevitably play McGinn or Tielemans deeper. So they need an attacking player, bro. And Somerville can play off the wing. He can play. He's very good at coming in centrally as well. So look, it's pricey, but he's a class player. I think he would fit at Villa. And also Buendia, the guy, like, he hasn't been able to make any type of impact for the team since he signed. He's always been injured or something. You know, the continuous signing was a flop. So I think Somerville could fill in those boots.
That's a crazy one.
It's not really that crazy. Why do you think that's crazy?
I don't know. We've already seen bro in the Prem before.
And he was pretty good.
And he was pretty mediocre.
Nah. He wasn't getting...
And we know Villa want to keep at like their minimum is Champions League right now. And it's Somerville going to be the support that they need? I don't know, bro.
Broski,
That's a bit of a crazy one to me. But let us know in the comments if you think Somerville
is that crazy? Is that a good pick or
let
an
us
pick?
know.
Let me know.
But last but not least, Liverpool.
Okay.
I could have gone to a lot of places here. Mm-hmm. They're getting McAllister back, so I'm not going to go with João Palhinha because that would have been an obvious answer. What a talent, first of all, I will say. Palhinha,
I mean, that would be a perfect fit.
Played Arsenal out of the park. They played Declan Rice out of the park recently. Mm-hmm. But I know that they need their left back position absolutely. That's like 100% their position that they need to fill. Obviously, Tsimikas broke his collarbone. Robertson, I don't even know what his injury is, to be fair.
He's
like
been out for ages.
Dude, he's fallen off the face of the cliff. But I went with Anthony Robinson.
Okay.
From Fulham.
Okay.
He's having a really good season. I've backed dude for a while. I've always thought he was pretty good, and he seems to fit that profile. He's very strong. He's very fast, quick. He's very athletic.
He actually is very kind of Robertson-like.
Exactly. And with a little bit of coaching, like he does, I think he does have a bozo gene. I'll be honest, but that could be coached out.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes we've seen some players that can't be.
That is true. But I think that would be a great shout. I will say it might be unrealistic just because he's pretty pivotal for Fulham.
Yeah.
So it would have to be a very hefty price, but that's not a bad shout. I think that would be very good for Liverpool's title charge for sure.
Fair enough. Yeah. Let us know in the comments if you liked any of those picks. You thought that they were good or bad transfers. Let us know who your team should sign in January. You know what I'm saying?